You know, every single business owner obsesses over one thing, right? Growth. But what does it actually take to make a business grow? We decided to go looking for the secret sauce. And, well, what we found was this incredible lesson, not just about strategy, but about what's really hidden inside a name. And it all kind of kicks off with this really powerful truth from a company called Cloudscale Studio. They just say it plain and simple. Growth is not optional. And think about it. That's so true, isn't it? For any business, whether a local barbershop or some giant tech company, if you're standing still, you're actually falling behind. It's this pressure that everyone feels.
So naturally, we did what anyone would do. We thought, okay, let's find the experts. The people who specialize in scaling. And that's when our simple little quest got, well, let's just say it got really confusing really fast.
So we type in Scale Studio and bam! We don't find one company. We find at least 5. I mean, look at this. You've got Scale Studio, the AI growth partners. Then another Scale Studio, which is an AI-powered revenue OS. Then there's the Scale Studio, a paid media agency. A Scale Studio group that does reputation management. And then, one whose account was just suspended. They all have basically the same name and they're all making the same promise. We'll scale your business. So what on earth is going on here?
Okay, so to even begin to make sense of this mess, we realized we had to break it all down. It turns out this one word, scaling, is being sold in at least 4 totally different flavors. And each one promises growth, sure, but they're all coming at it from a completely different direction. All right, so first up, we've got flavor number 1, the AI consultant. This version of Scale Studio is based out in Dubai, and they're focused on B2B agencies and recruitment firms. For them, scaling is all about making your internal processes more efficient. They'll build you a custom AI system to automate all that tedious work, like creating proposals or finding job candidates. The whole idea is to help you do more work without having to hire more people.
Okay, flavor number 2 is the SaaS platform. This company sells what they call a growth OS. Basically, it's software. Their whole promise is about tool consolidation. Instead of you having to juggle a dozen different marketing tools like SEMrush, Jasper, and Canva, they want to replace all of that with a single dashboard. The goal? To simplify your life, really, and make it easier to spot what's blocking your growth and then fix it.
Now, our third flavor is probably the one you're most familiar with, the good old ad agency. Yep, this is scaling in the most classic sense of the word. They focus on one thing and one thing only, customer acquisition. They do that by running paid ads for you on places like TikTok, Meta, Google, you name it. For them, the growth equation is pretty simple, and it's all external. More ads equals more leads, which equals more customers, boom.
And this brings us to what might be the most unique definition of scaling we found. Check this out. There's a German company, Scale Studio Group, and their focus is on revenue protection. Their whole argument is, hey, you can't possibly grow if your online reputation is being torn to shreds by fake or just plain unfair Google reviews. And it makes sense, right? So they work to get those negative reviews taken down. For them, scaling doesn't start with offense, it starts with defense.
So you see what's happening here? This one simple word, scale, means 4 completely different things to 4 different companies. But here's the interesting part. All this confusion actually points us toward a much more fundamental engine for growth, and it's something that, honestly, most local businesses completely overlook.
And that engine is local SEO. I know, it might not sound as flashy as AI-powered systems or a massive ad campaign, but trust me, this is how your customers actually find you when they need you, right there in your own neighborhood. So what is it exactly? Well, to put it simply, local SEO is just a process of fine-tuning your online presence so you attract more business from people searching right in your area. Look, it's not about becoming world famous. It's about being the obvious #1 choice for the person who's searching for what you do just a few blocks away.
And what's so fascinating is how simple Google's own rules for this are. It all boils down to just 3 main things. First, prominence. Basically, how well known is your business? Second, relevance. How well do you match what the person is actually searching for? And third, distance. Literally, how close are you to the person doing the search? That's it. That's the whole game right there. And this is the important part. These are the things you can actually control to win that local game. This isn't some abstract theory. We're talking about tangible stuff, like optimizing your Google business profile, making sure you get good customer reviews, and just keeping your business name, address, and phone number consistent everywhere online. This is the real foundation for local growth.
And this focus on what actually works brings us all the way back around. Remember that first company we mentioned, Cloud Studio? See, they aren't trying to sell you some vague, fuzzy idea of scale. They're focused on building something you can actually see and touch, something much more tangible.
And their philosophy, honestly, it's a masterclass in how to be crystal clear. I want you to forget everything else for just a second and listen to this statement they make. We do not build websites. We build revenue infrastructure. Wow. I mean, that one sentence just cuts right through all that scaling noise we were talking about before, doesn't it?
Okay, let's really dig into this, because this right here, this is the big aha moment. On the left, you've got what most businesses have, a digital brochure. Yeah, it looks nice, it's got your contact info, it lists your services, it's just passive. It sits there. But on the right, that's a revenue machine. It doesn't just look nice, it books appointments. It doesn't just have contact info, it collects deposits. It sends automated reminders, protects you from no-shows, and it actively goes out and gets you more reviews. It works for you.
So what is this revenue infrastructure they're talking about? Well, it's a whole system, all working together. It starts with that conversion-focused website, optimized for local SEO, of course. Then it adds automated follow-up with leads through text and email. It's got integrated booking that actually collects a deposit. That's huge for stopping no-shows. It even handles payments. The whole point is to automate the entire journey for your customer from start to finish.
So after going through all of that, what's the real growth engine? What's the key takeaway from this whole investigation?
Well, first things first, the secret to growth isn't having the right name. I think after sorting through 5 different scale studios, we can all agree on that.
What it's really about is building the right system for your specific market. Look, if you're an auto detailer or a barber, you don't need some complex AI consultant from Dubai. What you need is a rock-solid, automated system that turns people searching locally on their phones into actual, happy, paying customers walking through your door. And honestly, this final quote from Cloud Studio just says it all, perfectly. Your website should work harder than you do. Think about that. Your website shouldn't just be another annoying thing on your to-do list. It should be your best, hardest-working employee running 24/7.
So, we'll leave you with this one last question to really think about for your own business. Be honest with yourself. Is your website just a pretty digital brochure, kind of passively sitting there waiting for people to stumble upon it? Or is it an active, automated machine that is out there, right now, working 24/7 to actually grow your business? Because the answer to that question, well, that could be the key to the real growth you've been looking for all along.